everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today we are taking a look at the Adept Cosmetics Amunet Nu palette, and I am super excited about this. I already just love the color. This red exterior packaging is super pretty, and then on the inside it is stunning. So it is all Egyptian themed, so all of the names are Egyptian names. This is beautiful color story. Lots of really interesting shimmers on there. And then on the portion with the mirror, you also have like these designs of some Egyptian gods. So it just looks very cool, and I am super excited about this color story. It is a little bit more on the neutral side, but like fun neutral to me. Like you can make this just super neutral, or you can take it like really gothy or really colorful, however you want it. There is a ton that can be done with this palette. I did also pick up the darker version, and the lighter version, the only difference is the Seth shade is a lighter, also more beigey tone, and because I prefer a little bit more color, I went with the dark navy instead. And so they do have those two different shade options for it. But we're gonna go ahead and jump right into swatching the palette, and then we're gonna do an eye look, and then I'll throw on the rest of my makeup so you guys can see a full face change with the eye look and really get a good judge of how it looks. So the first shade up is a metallic. This is Osiris. Very grungy shade, and this guy definitely is kind of a brownish metallic shade with a little bit of like some gold in there as well. Not super duper like changing of any color tones, just a nice reflective grungy brown on there. Immediately opaque as well, so really nice metallic. Then we have the first matte shade, which is Horus, and this is just a nice gray toned, very cool toned gray. Also really nice. Then the Seth shade, which is that nice navy shade. Also really pretty. This is also a perfect example of why I don't typically enjoy swatching matte shades, is that I am not great with matte shades. I can have metallics look amazing, but my swatches are definitely not indicative of the quality of a matte shade at all, because I am not great with matte shades. Next shade up is Pata, which is a kind of maroonish purple matte shade. Not maroon, what am I saying? Fuchsia. Fuchsia! I know how to identify colors. Then we have our next metallic shade, and this is Ray, and it looks like it could possibly be more duochromy in nature. Yeah, so it definitely goes from like a greenish to a brown. So there you can see the brown with that green, and the brown is really almost more of a grayish tone, so very grungy, and then just a very cool emerald green that it shifts with. So that's a really pretty shade. What's also interesting is that the undertone has almost a little bit of like a reddish undertone to it, but I'm just not seeing that. Like as I look at it, it just kind of goes between that grayish brown and then the green, but like the rim around the pan now has like a reddish tint to it, so that's kind of interesting. So the base definitely has some red in it. Then we have the Heather shade, and this is definitely an iridescent, but it's very chunky, but easily smooths out. But because of that chunkiness of it, it is a little bit more transparent, so definitely not quite as thick of a shade, but you can definitely see that like greenish yellow, and then as I come in close it turns purplish blue. So lots of color shifts on that one. There is also a little bit of pink in there as well as you kind of move it around, so lots and lots of color changes on that one, and it does look like it can be built up really nicely, but I personally would probably use that as a topper shade. Then we have the metallic shade Anubis, and this looks like it might be a multi-chrome, definitely a duochrome at a minimum. So you're very much seeing that purplish tone. I'm seeing gold into green, and it has a black base to it. Also a little bit of copper in there. So there's the darker base with a little bit of the green. There's the purple, green around the edges with a little bit of gold. as it's trying to focus, you can really see the difference between the green up top and then the purple on the bottom. That is a very pretty shade. Then the next matte shade is Thoth, and this is a very beigey neutral shade. But very nice, fits in with the color story. Then the next metallic is Bastet, and it's very interesting, the consistency of it. So it's very, very smooth, not thick like some of the other ones. Like this is a very thick consistency, this is very smooth, and this guy goes between gold and a coppery orange. So there you can see the coppery orange and then the goldish yellow on top. So very pretty. I would say this is primarily a duochrome though. It doesn't have multiple shifts to it, just that goldish yellow to orange. But still very, very pretty. I really like that one. That is a gorgeous shade. I'm also really into coppers lately. I don't know why. Like I did a look a week or two ago that was like dark navy with like a coppery reddish orange in the center of the lid, and I really liked that. But that also means that I can't do the same thing again today. So a little bit sad. Next matte shade is gonna be Amunet, and it is a really nice medium warm tone brown. A little bit of some reddish notes to it as well, but really, really pretty. And so you can definitely see these three are more on the neutral side, whereas like this block is like the really colorful shades. But then we have what looks to be probably one of the most interesting of the metallics is this next shade, and that's mainly because I probably will really like it. So the last of the metallics is Nephthys, and this has an identical formula to the purple shade that we have here, and it definitely has a bit of a shift between like a limeish green into a teal blue. So there you can see the greenish into the blue very clearly. The top is that teal blue, the bottom is the limeish yellowish green. Really beautiful shade as well. Very, very solid consistency, very opaque. So those are, I mean, these duochromes that they have on here are really, really pretty. Very much like them. And then the last shade that we have is a dark brown, and this is Imhotep. Very nice dark chocolate brown. And that is the entire palette that we have right there. Very nice, good mix of just solid metallics, matte shades, duochromes, and then that really bright iridescent to finish it out. So lots of different consistencies of the formulas as well, so that was really interesting. So I am very curious to see how this goes and what kind of look I want to put together. All right, so for the base, we are going to be starting off with the lighter gray shade into the dark brown, so it'll be half and half. And then on top of that, we are going to layer quite a few of the shimmer shades. So we're gonna have primarily on the lid this guy blending into this guy right here. And then we're gonna have the iridescent in front of this one. And then on the under eye, I am gonna go into the coppery kind of shade just to add a little bit more dimension to it. So we're gonna get a good number of shades going on this look. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. All right, starting off with Horus first, which is that lighter gray.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack.
All right, I added the Imhotep shade into the back and blended it in. I will say that the Horus shade was a little bit darker than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be slightly lighter of a gray tone, and then I also thought that the Imhotep shade was going to be a little bit darker of a brown, closer to black. And so because of that, the two shades ended up kind of blending in together to where, I mean, it's a seamless blend, but it's also primarily because I can barely tell the difference between the two shades. So that's kind of fun, I guess. But we're gonna go ahead and start throwing on some of the metallics, and then we'll get onto the under eye. So to start off, we are going to go into the shade right here. And we're gonna have that as the primary shade on the lid. And then into the outer edge, we will blend in this duochrome right here.
Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants.
So using a dry brush is not the best for the first shade. So we will go in with our finger instead. Oh, much better, look at that.
You better go live it up, cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an—
Yeah, I definitely think that that's the correct shade to have on there because it blends in with those grayish browns perfectly because of the teal blue and the black undertones on there. It layers nicely. So now we're gonna go into the Ray shade, which is this duochrome for the outer edge. It is a different formula than the other one was, and so I feel like we should get lucky, but you never know.
Now cast, I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that.
That shade went on really easily. So yeah, that's definitely one that's fine with a brush. And then we're gonna go into the iridescent shade for the front portion to lighten it up a bit more.
I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause some pain.
Alright, I think those all layered pretty nicely. I will say there was a little bit of glitter fallout that's going on, but not too bad. And then the matte shades didn't really have any fallout at all. So I think what we're gonna do next for the under eye is that we're gonna go into this kind of more orangey brown, and then we will layer this guy on top of that.
Can't stop this, I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name society.
All right. So I ended up throwing in a little bit more of the iridescent into the center of the eyes just to lighten it up a little bit more. And the metallic shade on the bottom definitely like is more on the copper side. I'm not getting a ton of like the yellow shift on there just yet, but I think it's super interesting. And so I am going to throw on my entire face of makeup, tight line, throw on mascara and everything, and then we will come back for my final thoughts on how everything performed, if there were any struggles or anything like that, and I will let you guys know what I thought. All right, and we are back with the final look. So I'm gonna come in close so you guys can see absolutely everything. So I definitely think that the shimmers blended together really nicely. The mattes did a good job. There wasn't any fallout with any of the matte shades. The shimmers, I did need to use my fingers for 2 of the shades, but everything else applied really nicely with a brush. So overall, I think it turned out really, really nice. Definitely more of a grunge look than I was originally thinking that I would do, but you could easily turn this into a lighter neutral look. You could turn it into a really like colorful look with this magenta shade, with that purple. I mean, there's a whole lot of different things that you can do, so I really like it, but I love Adept's formula to begin with, so that's just my own personal thing. But I would love to know what you guys think. What about the overall look? Do we like it? Do we not? What do you guys think of the swatches? Has anyone picked up the Adept palette yet? And if you have, what do you think of it? I would love to know your thoughts either way, so let me know down in the comments what you guys think of everything. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you did not, as we always do here. And if you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would highly suggest subscribing. We are getting just stupid close to 1,000 subscribers, and as soon as we hit that lucky number, I have a triple giveaway that I'm going to be doing to show my thanks to you guys for joining my family, gushing about makeup with me on here. I can't believe that there are that many people that actually want to listen to me talk about makeup, but I love you guys so much. So if you want to be part of that giveaway, highly suggest subscribing. It's gonna be soon, like probably in the next couple weeks soon. So I am very, very excited to show you guys what all I have to give back to you. And other than that, you guys just go have a good one.